Okay, so I think I'm just gonna read, unless somebody else has like a last call. Last call, kind of thing. Yeah, what's that like closing time? Like that. Yeah. It's like pretty dim in here though. I'm gonna like get me a light so I can see. I have my glasses on, but I still can't see. Cool.
Yeah, it's hard to.
I have this official binder. I don't know how y'all feel about like office supplies, but like Staples is my jam. So it's like even in these like little like these things.
They're a lamp?
Yeah. They're pretty good. So I'm gonna read a poem called Ash.
This is the queen of PowerPoint.
I am the queen of PowerPoint. I use PowerPoint to make all of our promos, so that promo that y'all love is like it's made with PowerPoint. I used to make my resumes on PowerPoint.
That's awesome.
That's no lie. Yeah, I see your face. I see that face. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, my professor at TA4 asked me about like, can you please help the student with their InDesign file? And I was like, no. Okay, it's called Ash. I'm going to take my glasses off because I can see when things are close. And they're a little like, they're like pretty big, honestly. Like they're big on my face. Like I have to like look down when I'm walking down the stairs so I can see the stairs. It's like, anyway, okay. I'm like nervous talking. I pretend like I'm not nervous, but I'm totally nervous to read my own poetry in front of everyone. So
Doing
I hope
great.
it's yeah, thank you. Okay. At this moment, I'm sitting at a cafe. It's warm enough or cool enough still to sit outside, and I'm soaking it up as much as I can before it slips away into the heavy heat. I bought a box of raspberries and a pack of cigarettes, which will turn green once I get home, promises. This reminds me I should probably order another coffee. Lit another cigarette, a handful of raspberries, coffee sips, and yes, everything is settled as best as it can for the time being. It's almost August, almost autumn. It rained last week. It never rains here, and thunder and lightning broke through the walls, and there were waterfalls inside buildings. I was speaking with a taxi driver the other day, and he said he's lived here for 6 years, and never has he seen anything like this. We began by collecting the precious things that exist in a world that is other than ours. We stored them safely between pages, pieces of petrified earth. I was gentle with your body, though fingers fell clumsy, leaving whispers on the surface of your skin. I exist in a cyclical nature, therefore we contact each other in a place of repetition. So let's go back to the question of the kiss and all its infinite intimacy. I am horizontal with your lips against my thighs. The most delicate of moments seem to bring back the most monstrous of memories. When I lay by your side, I'm hanging from the ceiling like a three-legged chair that can't stand on its own. I am pulled toward the ceiling, and all there are clouds up there. All there are my own memories. And sometimes you are contained between their fingers. I find myself lost in your lips, captivated by your kiss, perpetually propelling in an unbalanced motion, wondering what will happen when I hit the ground. So yeah, I was between the ward and the rest of the hospital when I saw the bed frames upright. There was a forest of them, and they all had webs stretched across their bodies. Oh, I should take this off, too, for this moment, because, like, the imagery is, like, you gotta see the imagery. Anyway, I'll just pick it up where I put it down. I knew from the start that I would have to walk through them in order to get to you. You drew a spider right over my heart, right between my collarbones, right above my ribcage. She keeps me safe in these moments when I want to scream. She taught me that sometimes it's easier to sing, and in this moment I knew that you would hear me. This is one of my favorite lines I've ever written, honestly, so I'm going to share it with everyone right now. The hum of your existence moves me as a breeze to a willow tree waiting patiently for the eye of the storm. Sunlight. When I feel it touch my skin, I no longer feel alone. I feel light. Sunsets. I used to collect them. I kept them in individual jars on my shelves and watched them as they remained in purgatory, neither dark nor light. I built more shelves as the days went on, months passed, years. I was kept company by these moments that refused to fade away. Then I realized the necessity for certain things will ensure their perpetual existence. Therefore, I broke the jars and set them free, trusting in the fact that there is always more to come. I can see 2 wicker chairs swallowed in the grass, perch bird bones twisted into form. By the empty river lie their empty bodies, waiting for each other, waiting to be filled. One looks towards the other, and the other looks away. When I told you I spend my summers lifeguarding at the local swimming pool, my winters drinking too many cups of coffee, my springs trying not to slaughter flowers, and my autumns falling in love with the fire of my surroundings every year, all over again. This next part is like a singular poem, but I included it in this poem because it's just like it felt right. So anyway, my body has been to hell. Strapped down to hospital beds, given shots to slow, my mind has been wrapped in barbed wire, drowned in oceans of suicidal ideation, and warped by the medication that is supposed to make me better. I say I can feel the screams inside me, but my skin muffles the sound. I say no. I can feel the screams inside a body whose skin tries to devour the sound. And I think back to our conversation about wind, how wind has no real sound but a multiplicity of sounds. And I realize I identify with the wind, with the slipperiness of its edges, with the impossibility of its existence, and yet here we are. If I'm being honest, I should let you know I have plants that almost outlive me. I have plants that almost outlive me, but my plants went on to grow and flourish, as did I. I find myself constantly killing flowers. There is something about having their bodies near which causes a nostalgia that makes me feel safe as though you are here with me. This next part is like really like the thesis statement of like what this thing is that we're all like involved in. So like just pay attention. If you spaced out, like it's cool. Just come back for this one sentence. Yeah, just like come back, like make landing on the moon again for a minute, and then you can go back out into outer space, and I'll finish. And for those of you who've been on this journey the whole way, like I thank you. There is nothing I believe in more than the ability for art to build, nourish, enrich, and transform our communities. Yeah, you can snap. It's cool. I told you, it's like the thesis statement to this whole thing. And then this next part is relevant too. So like try to stay on the moon. You know what I mean? I get spacey when I listen to people speak. So, and I know this is long. So anyway. Feel free to like dip in and dip out, you know, do the dance. Anyway, when I think about my work, I think back to an essay written about T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. This essay, when talking about the poem, and I will paraphrase here, says what the poem does is it brings together a community of like sufferers, and it gives that community the conviction to live their lives. My work is meant to function as a survival tool for myself and for others. It's meant to function as abstract oxygen in that it provides a little bit of extra air in our lungs for the people who need it. The work exists for the purpose of giving people the feeling of I am not alone. When I reflect on laughter, I just skipped a verse, so this transition is poor, but like I'll fix it later. Don't worry about it. When I reflect on laughter, the last part says it all just made me laugh, but I took that verse out. Anyway, when I reflect on laughter, I find a home. Within my work, laughter is an entry point, beauty is an entry point, poetry is an entry point. Those entry points lead you down hallways of pain, struggle, trauma, and eventually get you through doorways of light, levity, strength. The experience of my work is an all-encompassing and endless journey toward healing. When I reflect on what it means to find a home, I think of you. I think of those doorways covered in kiss marks. So many layers of lipstick you cannot see its surface. When you hit a box of matches with a hammer, they all light at once. So this is something I wrote to somebody who's like super important to me in my life. Word for word, pretty much. This letter has been a long time coming, and I apologize for it taking me so long to find these words. They were hidden above doorways, in the folds of my clothing, and most obviously under my bed, where all the monsters reside. Although I'm beginning to become friends with these monsters, and I think they are really the folks to thank for giving me the courage to finally write to you. You are someone who knew me at such a key time in my life, as it was just before my diagnosis, someone who saw me battle being unmedicated, someone who believed in me despite everything, someone who can appreciate how far I've come. And for this relationship, I am eternally grateful. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, creativity. This could manifest in many ways. Someone who approaches their inner as a place of discovery. Someone who's not afraid to make a mark. Someone I may disturb the universe with. Someone who the universe. Compassion, kindness, bravery. Stability. Someone I can laugh with every fucking day. Emotionally available and generous with their love for me, themselves, and our found family. A simple experience of calm waters encourage a trust fall when the waves inside me are crashing furiously on our beaches. To catch me with compassion as I fall. To encourage me to stand up, stand still, and find stillness and float. Encouraging me when I'm ready to swim again. Someone who lives at the storm's eye as a lighthouse that leads the ship to the calm. Play. Someone I can be silly with every fucking day. Embrace that tragedy is a ridiculous thing and embrace laughter. Dabble gleefully like Frida. To be self-aware but to never doubt one another. Sing my favorite songs, a windows down kind of love. A car hotbox in the spring, summer, autumn, winter, and so on. Collaborate with in life, creativity, and love. Always finding ways to move in tandem. Allowing our rivers to intersect. Run parallel and flow into the ocean. To allow each other to grow together separately and to respect one another as we change. My best friend first, my lover second, and yet equally as much as the first. Someone who is always down and truly stoked to read my poems. Every single one. My hand is shipped to the calm.